Hello, hello. We are back. We are back. We are back. Another episode of hashtag Altered Index 2025, sponsored by Nonstop Paper Crafts here on YouTube. Her channel, is, as always, is linked in the description or in the title, as well as the hashtag. If you want to check out other creators that are participating in this, type that a hashtag into your search bar on YouTube, and it should pull up all the creators that are using the hashtag. So, just as a reminder, this was last week, my one that I did upside down on accident, which was about head in the clouds and then insector wings. So this was the other one. This week we have lavender, which I'm allergic to, by the way. I'll tell that story when we get going. And then for week 41 or 42 is lavender. Week 41, 42? Let me double check that. 42 and 43. So 42 is lavender, 43 is love and romance. Okay. So I pulled out napkins. I'm going to have some play with the napkins this week. Or this video. One of the things with working with napkins is you do want to separate out all the layers. There's one ply, which you very rarely see, would be just this piece here that's got the image on it. 2 ply, 1, 2, 3, and I've even seen 4 ply. 4 ply means you've got 3 layers of this white underneath. This particular napkin peels really easily. As you can see, I was able to use my fingers to pull those apart with no problem. Sometimes that's not the case. If you ever have a napkin that you're trying to get to separate and you can't just grab the white away from the printed image like I just did with this one, a trick you can do is get a piece of tape and stick it to, this piece, stick it down, and then lift, and it will either lift this completely apart like this, and then you can finish separating, or it'll tear a little bit of the white away, and then you can separate them out. I didn't have to do that with this, and my other napkin has already been done, so I just got to show you how it's done. I've also pulled out, this is one of my die cut frames. It cuts like this, so you can decide whether you want to leave if you want to leave the center in or not. If you leave it like this, you can put your picture in the center there, or you can cut it out and then it be like an open frame, which is what I chose to do with this week. So that will be scrap. I have also pulled out green, 2 shades of green to go with the green here that I'm going to collage the back of my card with. And these are for the next one. So let me start by putting the cards facing the right direction so that we don't have another oopsie. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take off all the straight edges, because you know how I feel about straight edges. If you watch my videos anyway, you know how I feel about straight edges when it comes to collaging. I may need that piece, I'm not sure, but I'm just going to randomly tear. I think I'm going to need this one. Whatever I don't use, I'll just stick in, in the basket like always. Just kind of tearing, not really paying much attention to, where it's going. So we're going to start with that. I also have my water pen ready. This was really weird. I was trying so hard to figure out, trying to open it, And it actually twists backwards to open it. Like, tripping me out. Anyway, got my water pen. I'll show you how to use that. Glue stick was ready. Fabri-Tac is ready if I end up needing it. I have my glue pages. Already ready already. I'll close off my Sharpie scissors because those poke. Now the green is just going to be, it's going to be in the background because I'm going to be covering it completely as well. But it'll show through. It'll show through. Now, only working with two colors, there is going to be places where the colors overlap like that. It's just the way it's going to be because it's only got two colors going. But what you can do is then take a piece of the other one, see like where the green is there, and put something in there to break it up. But I'm not going to worry about it too much because like I said, this is all going to be, it's going to be, I'm covering it when it's done. I'm going to put some of that light color in there. See, I'm sitting there thinking I might not even, still might not even have enough. And I will do, you know, once the second layer is done, I'll come back in and punch out those holes. I'm battling. I don't know if you guys caught that little. I'm battling with my collage demons because there's so much of it. Just like, you know, there's too many colors clumped together that are the same, and I'm having to remind myself it's okay because you're covering it anyway. It's okay. You're covering it anyway. Don't get stressed about it. You're covering it anyway. My brain is like, no. And I only have one piece left, so I'm going to go ahead and stick it on there. Now, if you've watched me do collages, I've done videos where literally that's what I'm doing, is sitting down and collaging stuff. you'll know that that is a constant for me. Um, I'm not going to worry about trimming that just yet. So what I'm covering this with is going to be a layer of this right here. So, lavender. I didn't know that I was allergic to lavender. And this was back when I was doing supervised visitations. And I was with a mom and her daughter, and they were working on they made a Mother's Day card for the foster mom. And part of that card was fresh lavender, like that was planted at the park, the trailer park that mom lived at. And so we walked down, picked some fresh lavender, carried it back to her place, and they sat and worked on the card. And I was feeling a little weird, but I didn't think a whole lot of it while we were still at the house. And it wasn't until we got in my car that all of a sudden, you know, in the car, closed air, small closed area, I started having difficulty breathing. And so it was a crazy mad rush, you know, because I didn't want to tell the girl, hey, you know, we need to pull over and you need to throw that away. So just kind of like sped a little bit to get to the foster home quicker, and got her dropped off, and then took myself to the doctor to get an epinephrine shot because I didn't have, you know, I didn't have my EpiPen with me because I wasn't going to be near alfalfa, which is what I'm, you know, anaphylactically allergic to, and well, not alfalfa. I do have a pretty significant alfalfa allergy, but shellfish is what I have my EpiPen for, and I knew I wasn't going to be anywhere near that, so I didn't have my EpiPen with me. So I had to go to the emergency room, gave me an Epi shot, and I was like, okay, all's better. But yeah, that was when I learned that I was allergic to lavender. Didn't know that up until that point. See, and then I have this. Let's turn this around before I do it again. So, what I'm doing with the water pen, and I'm just going to cut this panel off. Maybe my scissors are not wanting to cut the napkin. Okay. This can go back into my storage, into my napkin thing, my napkin bin. Now this is too big because all I would get would be, you know, a little, either all lavender. You know, you can't really see the edges of it. You know, it would end up being the solid field essentially. Kind of liking the asymmetrical. No, so my original thought was I was going to put this, and then cut these out and add them this way. Let's try my original thought first. So here's what you do with your water pen. You give it a squeeze, get your tip wet, and then you use it to trace out ooh, got too much water there. You have to be a little careful tearing there that I don't tear the flower. And what this does is it gives you a line to follow. It's drying too fast. Ooh. No. Okay. I think because my heater's on in my room. It's drying the water out really quickly. What? There's a whole other layer there. Isn't there? Nope. Nope. It's just getting. I'm like, what is going on here? Okay. So my original thought was to have it something like this. Gluing these back up there, and then I can frame this. I'm going to stick with my original idea. So, let's some glue there. Gluing napkin is not the easiest thing in the world to do. Just throwing that out there. Put that one there. This one here. And then I can trim that off. Bring this in. Now I'm going to end up with glue in places that I don't need it to be. This down because I can't glue on the napkin because as you saw it's going to want to tear, so I got to glue onto here, which means there's going to be glue in places where there's not napkin going down. Does that make sense? I hope. And then this is going to go right here. I am going to leave it sticking over the edges. Now I do have this that says lavender in French. Wow. I messed that one up. Did I get my spare back out? I have a ton of these napkins. I'm not worried about, you know, wasting, so to speak. I used to feel the fire. And then put that over the frame. Which then will allow me also to bring this down just a smidge. Because this I can use to cover up my boo-boo down there at the bottom. And I put this across like that. This I will glue on with Fabri-Tac Fabrifix. I can get it to flow here. Come on. There we go. It's leaving a string behind, which is annoying. Some glue on that next row. Start with that. Now I could have put some acetate behind that to make it actually look like a glass frame. But I decided against it. And then this. And for this, I'm going to use my little rubber spatula. Probably should have put that behind something. Or put something behind that. Too late. I think there's something in here about growing. I think. This one cracks me up. Clumsy birds have to start flying early. Okay, I thought there was, but apparently not. See if I have anything in here that. I like that. Be a voice, not an echo. I'm not sure that doesn't necessarily go. I mean, I don't know how to tie that in with lavender, but I like the message behind it. Now that I know where this is at, I can run some glue under here to get that top part glued down so it stays. And this bottom part right under here so that it stays. Be a voice, not an echo. Just a little simple one there. Next one is Love and Romance. Don't need my white ones. So what I have here is this pretty piece of napkin, which I thought it was more pink than it is, but it's not. It's more red, so I'm actually not going to use this one because it's not going to match my napkin. So what I want first is this set of flowers here. Just tear around, tear around. That first. This has a little image of an Eiffel Tower way down here. It's a little image. Let's see. I want just this building. The bottom. There we go. Now I don't throw this away because I can use like this flower. I can use some of that, use it as background. So I don't throw stuff like that away. I am going to set it off to the side, out of my way. Where's my other card? Oh, here it is. Now here's where the trouble starts because obviously this isn't all going to fit on one card. First, I want to put some purple down in the background. Ooh, see, I have that left over from... This is not what I wanted or need. It's what I meant to grab, but it's not what I need. Trying not to get those lines, you know, where it's a clear separation in steps. But also try to avoid doing that. I feel like I want to just... a little darker around the edges just so it doesn't look like that was an accident. Let's make it look more purposeful. It's not what I wanted to happen, actually, but I guess we're gonna just dribble some water on here. You can see it start to react there. It's better with oxide versus distress ink, but even just the ink itself is water reactive. Okay, so it gives you a neat little effect there. Just going to be super fun for the next memorial journal I'm going to be doing. There is a young man here. It's crazy. He was hit on his motorcycle. He was hit by a drunk driver. Messed up his bike, but he survived. He was able to push his bike home. Got his bike fixed, got it back on the road. 4 days later, he was hit and killed. Right? I know. I'm paused because it still just blows my mind to think, wow, the mom was, took to social media, and when he was hit by the drunk driver, posted when he was arrested, and they found out, the guy had his child, his toddler, in the car with him while he was drinking and driving. Um, but yeah, when she posted 4 days later that he was involved in another accident and was killed in this one. Fortunately, this one was not a hit and run. The person stayed on scene, so kudos to her. I can't imagine what she's feeling and going through. Um, but I reached out to the mom, and I said, you know, you don't know me, but I am local, and I told her that I offer memorial journals for people who are, going through a loss, and I offered to make her one, and she's like, well, thank you, but I have no idea what that is. Um, so I sent her a couple links to some of the ones that I've done that are on my channel, and she was like, oh my god, those are, yes, I would love one. So I've been in communication with her, um, finding out the things about her son that were important to him. um, I mean, I knew just from the posts that his motorcycle was important. I mean, but finding out his favorite holidays, his favorite, whatever, his favorite colors and stuff like that, so that I can personalize it. So those of you, if you may not know, um, but in addition to my regular journals that I make, sorry, I'm looking for something real quick. In addition to my regular journals, like the steampunk, the butterflies and lace, the 60s inspired journal, in addition to those, I offer journals to people that are struggling to process loss, but also to those that are in substance use recovery. And I offer those free of charge, and I personalize them the best I can using information provided by their loved ones. Um, so, yeah, I'll be working on a journal for him here shortly. Just think this is a fun little element here. Add that on there. Where did my, where did my spatula go? So I don't get the glue stuck to my finger, and then the thread gets stuck to my finger through the glue and then pulls it back off. So I have this love print, I've got it die cut in several different shades, but I'm looking at this black going, this black might just ground it as much as, if I can get them apart. It's one thing I don't like about this die cut is that it does tend to get hung up on itself. Because of all the loopies. I feel like I want something on top of that. I don't think I like the black. I think the black is too stark. I think it's too contrasting. So I got this. Oh, don't like that. Don't like that. Don't like the hot pink. This was made out of a masterboard. Let go. Let it go. Thank you. So I don't mind the light pink. Definitely not the red. This is another one from the masterboard. See, that's introducing colors that are not already in it. Same with that. I think that blends in too much. Yeah, don't like that pink. So I'm going to go with the light one. This is what I was digging out of my drawer next to me. I figure out what to go up on top of there. Whoop! I dropped the Eiffel Tower. Nope. Okay, so these are going to go over there with the rest of that stash. Come on. Seriously. Put you out of the way for a moment. Feel like the flower needs to go up there. I do have some die cut flowers. I don't know if any of these I'm gonna like though. Okay, none of these are actually what it's labeled to be. That's frustrating. Nope, none of those are going to be the right color, so I'm not even going to test those ones. Thinking what I want is a Tina flower. Which means I need to get over here. And have it completely like dig, rearrange, argue with, drop. my supplies. Because in this box, I have Tina's stuff all in their own. Still have to label them. Street signs, frames, labels, minis, bows, flowers. Let's take out her bows and her flowers. Okay, we're going to close that so I can put it off to the side. I can put it on its edge because I closed it. Let's see. Looking at size first. I don't mind that size. Oh, they do have it in pink. Okay. It's funny because I think I used this in like one of the very first ones I did in this project. And then I want a flower up there. But finding the right color. And it being small enough. I may just put the bow up there. This is printed on cardstock. Put the flower underneath with the bow on top. No, and I don't like the flower by itself on there, but I do like the bow by itself. I'm gonna put the bow up there. Love Tina's bows. Okay, bring this back up. I put these away. Oh, these are French sayings. I had a cheat sheet to tell me what all these said, and I don't know where my cheat sheet went. Do one of these. Put the other one back in here. So I can put these away. Out of the way. Now put them away. Out of the way for the moment. I also need to put my lid on my water pen. Okay. Now, for this, just kind of go around those edges there. Now, if this was printed on thicker paper, I actually would have just glued it in the center and to let it sit up a little bit off the page. You know, I'd go like this and just let it sit, but it's only paper. And it is gluing itself more to the string than it is to the paper, so it is kind of giving it some of that lift anyway, but just want to make sure it stays secured. And then this actually says Precious Moments. It's very odd because it was on a sheet full of things written in French, and it was like the one thing that was done in English. Not sure why. I'm going to put that right here under, maybe down here at the bottom. No. Okay, maybe there. Yeah. I like the mystery of it a little bit, being underneath the eyelash yarn. Come on. Come on, glue. I know you're working. Okay. I'm going to put this right up underneath here. I like it. So there we have for today. We have lavender and we have love. Lavender and love. So thank you very much for joining me for another episode of this. I think next week when we do our double feature, we'll be finally caught up. I think. I need to go back through and look at the channel, look at Nonstop Paper Crafts, and see where we're at to know for sure. But I think we're caught up. We'll be caught up on the next video. Do all those YouTubey things for me if you don't mind. And again, welcome to my new subscribers, and thank you for thank you for joining, and thank you to my viewers, past, present, and future. So until next time, peace out.